Okay, so if you've ever opened a Spanish textbook and felt like the subjunctive is this big, scary monster, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to demystify it. We're going to turn it into a tool that you actually want to use. So let's just dive right in.
So, what is this secret mood anyway? Well, it's the subjunctive. And honestly, it's one of the most powerful and, yeah, misunderstood parts of the Spanish language. But getting a handle on it, oh, it unlocks this whole new way to express yourself. You get to move beyond just stating facts and into this incredible world of opinions, feelings, and possibilities.
All right, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. The subjunctive is not a tense. Seriously, it has nothing to do with when something happens. It's all about how the speaker feels about it. That's why we call it a mood. It's all about their perspective, their wishes, their doubts, their emotions. It's the difference between saying what is and what you want or doubt or feel about what is. Okay, so how do we actually make this thing? You're going to love this because for most verbs, there's a simple two-step formula that just works. We call it the opposite vowel rule. Let's break it down. Just burn this little phrase into your brain. Go to yo, drop the O, add the opposite. It's that simple. So first, you take any verb and you put it in its normal I form, the yo form. So for hablar, it's hablo. Step 2, you drop that final O. That leaves you with your stem. And then you just add the opposite endings. Now, what does that mean? Well, verbs that end in AR, they get E endings. And verbs that end in ER or IR, you guessed it, they get A endings. It's a switcheroo. And here, you can see that pattern laid out perfectly. So look at hablar, our AR verb. We go from hablo to the stem hable, and then we add those EE endings. Hable, hables, hable. Easy. Now for comer and vivir, the ER and IR verbs, we do the exact same thing but add the opposite A endings. So you get coma, comas, coma, and viva, vivas, viva. See? It's totally predictable once you know the trick. Of course, Spanish always has to have a few rebels in the group, the irregular verbs. But don't worry, it's a really small, totally manageable group. And as you're about to see, they actually kind of follow a similar logic, believe it or not. So check this out. These verbs are only irregular because their normal yo form is a little funky. We're still following our go-to-yo rule. For tener, the yo form is tengo, right? So we take that stem, teng, and we add the opposite vowel ending, tenga. For hacer, it's hago, which gives us haga. So you see, the rule still works. You just have to know these specific yo forms, which, let's be honest, you probably already do. And here's what that looks like in a real sentence. Es importante que hagas la tarea. We're not just stating a fact, are we? We're expressing that something is important, a necessity. That's a classic trigger for the subjunctive, so our irregular verb hacer becomes hagas. Okay, now for the million-dollar question. We know how to form it, but when on earth do we actually use it? I want you to think of certain phrases as triggers that basically activate the subjunctive. Once you learn to spot these triggers, you'll know exactly when to pull out this new superpower. First up, desire and will. Pretty much anytime you're expressing what you want, what you hope, or what you wish for someone else to do, you're in subjunctive territory. If you find yourself saying quiero que, which is I want that, or espero que, which is I hope that, the verb that comes next is gonna be in the subjunctive. Next on the list, we've got doubt and denial. The subjunctive is basically the official language of uncertainty. So if you're saying dudo que, I doubt that, or, and this one is huge, no creo que, I don't believe that, you're signaling that what comes next is not a confirmed fact in your mind. That is a massive green light for the subjunctive. Okay, trigger number 3 is all about emotion. Think about it. How you feel about something is the very definition of subjective, right? So when you express happiness or fear or surprise about something someone else does, like with phrases me alegro de que or temo que, you've just triggered the subjunctive. And our last big category of triggers is what we call impersonal expressions. These are just those general statements of importance or necessity or even recommendation. Phrases like es necesario que and es importante que are classic introductions to a subjunctive clause. They kind of set the stage for a subjective judgment or command. So let's put all this together and really see it in action. Honestly, the best way to get a feel for the power of the subjunctive is to see it right next to the indicative mood. The mood we use for facts and things we're sure about. Ah, look at this. This is brilliant. On the left, no dudo que él tiene tiempo. I don't doubt it, so for me, it's a fact. We just use the normal indicative, tiene. But look at the right. The second I introduce a little doubt with dudo que, the reality becomes uncertain, and boom, the verb flips to the subjunctive, tenga. It's the exact same situation, but my perspective changes the entire grammar. How cool is that? And here's a perfect example of that desire trigger we talked about. My mom has a wish. Her wish is for me to do something. So that little phrase, mi mamá quiere que, immediately triggers the subjunctive for the next verb. And that's why limpiar becomes limpie. And one more for the road, this time using that doubt trigger with one of our irregular verbs. No creo que. I don't think so. I'm not sure. Because I'm expressing uncertainty, the verb saber, to know, has to flip to its irregular subjunctive form, sepan. It perfectly captures that I'm not sure about what they know. So here's the real takeaway. Mastering the subjunctive isn't just about memorizing a bunch of grammar rules. It's about gaining this incredible ability to express your entire inner world, your subjective reality. It's how you share your hopes, your fears, your doubts, your opinions. It just makes your Spanish so much richer, so much more you. By learning to spot these triggers and using these simple rules, you're not just learning a conjugation, you're unlocking a more powerful, a more authentic way to communicate. So really, the only question left is, are you ready to express a whole new world of ideas?